Teaching kids about the environment is absolutely critical, helping them understand why it's so important to care about the natural world in which we live. The New York Sea Grant is giving away money to help fund programs that do just that. Their recreation and tourism specialist Dave White coordinates it all, and he joins us this morning. Good morning, Dave. How are you?
I am very well, Tim. Very well. Great to see you. Great to be with you, as always.
And to have you here. Tell us a little bit about this grant program and how it came about.
I get excited about these things, and it's a great opportunity that we are in partnership with New York State DEC. This is the 6th year, actually, we've been doing this grant program. And each year we pick a focus area from the Great Lakes Action Agenda. In this year, instead of having a focus area, we kind of have a concept. And the concept is to fund projects that engage youth under the age of 21 in formal or informal projects. And as I refer to them, we want the project to be conception to conclusion. So the youth that are involved, we don't want them just going out and maybe planting some beach grass or helping a habitat. We want them involved in the entire project, from the thought process, how do you do it, what plants would you pick, or what stream bank would we want to do. So they're engaged in the project from point A to point Z, and we're really excited about doing that.
Dave, give us an idea of some of the programs, some of the projects that you might like to see.
It's really open-ended, and like I say, and it may be a planting, but taking it the whole way. Maybe it's habitat restoration. Maybe it's development of a recreation trail. We have funded in the past, kayak launches. Maybe it's a water trail that the students would be engaged in identifying what's along the shore. So really, it's open. It's for the Great Lakes Basin, so it includes Erie, Ontario, the Niagara, and St. Lawrence rivers, and obviously the Finger Lakes area is part of that basin as well. Oneida Lake, Onondaga Lake. So we're really looking at projects that are going to engage those youth, but really we want them to really become the next set of leaders, really for the Great Lakes. And I think this is a great way to help get them engaged, whether it's an environmental science club, 4-H group, an FFA group. We've even heard from our friends at the Power Squadron and Coast Guard Auxiliary that they've thought about working with students to talk about, boating safety issues and training issues. So opportunity is completely open, and we're going to be able to fund probably at least 8 projects up to about $25,000 each.
Wow. I've heard the term watershed used in connection with this. Tell us exactly what that term means.
The watershed is basically, if you took a drop of water and dropped it someplace, where's that drop of water going to end up? And in our case, when you look at the Great Lakes watershed, it includes most of the Finger Lakes area, Oneida Lake, Onondaga Lake, because they all flow into either the Genesee River, in the case of the Finger Lakes area, or the Oswego River, and they're flowing into Lake Ontario. So that's where they always talk about drop a point, a water, where will that drop end up? East side of the Continental Divide, west side of the Continental Divide. And in our case, we're looking at that watershed of the Great Lakes because it has an impact. So, as I always say, things that happen in Seneca and Cayuga Lake, if we're having a flooding issue or a problem, that's going to end up in Lake Ontario in about 3 weeks. So it's really that interaction. And, we've heard people talk about maybe developing projects that talk about Onondaga or Oneida Lake and Lake Ontario, Big Lake, Little Lake concept, and how those two interact. So engaging students in all those, it's truly open, and we're really looking for some dynamic projects and proposals.
And Dave, very briefly, this really is about creating the stewards of our environment going down the road.
Oh, it is. It is. It's helping that next generation really think big. And, how do we use some of these new technologies? I'm a little gray, as one might notice. So, some of these newer technologies to me are like, really, I'm not there. But, to get a high school group or young college students involved in how do we utilize social media progressively to talk about these issues, to engage our community? Maybe even having them go out when the project's done and present it to their community town board, so they're getting that experience of public speaking in front of a town group or their local club. So it's really open-ended, and I'm really excited to see the projects come in and get our youth much more engaged than just doing something, but being a part of something. And that's exciting to me.
Dave White from New York Sea Grant. It's always great talking to you, especially when you got good news like this. Thanks a lot.
All righty, buddy. Take care.
If you'd like to learn more or apply to possibly receive one of these grants, you can head online. Just visit newyorkseagrant.org, nysgrant.org /GL Small Grants.